to everyone, because where I'm at, it's good morning, guys. And yeah, guys, welcome to a new video. It's gonna be very different. I am going to be doing a story time about my first pregnancy and when my son died, passed away after birth. And I'm going to be starting at the beginning of everything, how it started, how I found out, and all that, guys. It's gonna be very emotional, guys. For me, it was, and it's always been like that. And I hope y'all like this video, guys. It's something that I never wanted to do, but I feel like there's more women out there that are going through this, and why not, say what I feel, talk about it. And I feel like it'll do better that soul women out there that are probably going through the same that I went through years back, that they're going through it now. Teenagers as well, getting pregnant at a younger age. But I want to start with this video, guys. And I hope y'all like this video, guys. If y'all see me cry, guys, I am so sorry, but I get very emotional. And it's been 13 years that this happened, and I still get emotional, and I don't think I will never forget about it. It's still always like it's always been in my head all the time. I'm always thinking about it. And so yeah, guys, so y'all stay tuned, and I'm gonna start from the beginning of how I found out I was pregnant, guys. And I was dating at a young age, guys. I think I started dating my daughter, Angelique's father, at 16. But it was just a simple, like, oh, it was just something, that I never thought, I think I met him at 15. And that we were practicing for a quinceañera. And that's when I met him there at that age. And never thought, guys, that I was gonna get in love with this person. And we started dating, just normal dating, holding hands and all that kind of stuff. But it got to a point where the school was a little bit of, between us a lot, because I had to go to school, he had to go to school, and it was just so many things in the middle. It was just so much, guys. It was literally so much. And he would have to come and see me at home and see me and all that. I usually never seen him much because I had homework. I had to do all that kind of things already. But it got to a point where, I was young, guys. I was like in 12th grade. It was in 2000. It was in 2006, guys. And I was already closing to getting graduating from high school. And we started dating and all this, guys, and never thought I was pregnant. Never thought it, and I never even imagined it. So I started feeling sick. I started feeling tired. I started sleeping during the evenings. I would nap. And me, I don't like taking naps. People that know me, they know I don't take naps. So for me, it was like very rare. And then out of nowhere, I started feeling sick. I started getting sick with the flu, and they prescribed me medication, all that, everything, all that went away. But I started feeling tired, and I was always tired. My mom noticed that I was always sleeping during the day, and I was like, Mom, I'm just tired. I just don't feel like doing nothing. I just finished my homework. I did this, I did that. I would do my chores, and I would do everything, guys. I would do everything, and I would feel so tired, and I would sleep, and I just felt tired, like tired. And my mom's like, you know what? We're gonna have to take you to the doctor because your iron's a little low, and you probably need vitamins and all that kind of stuff. And the next day, I go to the doctor, guys, And I go in and they say, okay, well, they started checking me, my vitals and all that, if I had fever. And guys, I was on my period. I never missed a period through all these months that I'm telling you about. I was having normal periods every month, every month, every month. Every month I was perfect with my periods, like all the time, like every month. And I go to the doctor and the doctor says, when was your last menstrual period? I was like, well, I'm on it right now. And he's like, oh, you are? Okay. And then he told me, okay, just, he told me to pee in a cup. They were going to check if I have no, like, things like that, infections and stuff. But they never told me they were going to do a pregnancy test. And I go back in the room and I sit there. And then he tells me, do you want to lay down? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, let me check your stomach. And I was like, okay. So he checks my stomach and he's like, okay, it feels a little hard. And I was like, oh my God, is that something bad? Is it something that I have to worry about? And I was like, and the doctor's like, no, let me just check again. And he starts checking and all that. And then he puts like when they check your heart and all that. So he does that to my belly. And he goes like that with his face. Like he goes, okay. And then they're like, okay, we're going to do a pregnancy test. And I'm like, how? I thought you have to be missing a period for you to be pregnant. And I'm on my period right now. So that is insane that you're going to do a pregnancy test, and I'm on my period right now. And he's like, we're still going to do it, just to be sure. Okay, they go in, it was like waiting in that waiting room, guys. I was like in the little room, and they were like, I think we waited for 20 minutes, guys. And it was just the worst waiting ever. And they come back in and they like, you're pregnant. And I was like, are you serious? I'm like, I don't think so. It's like, I'm on my period. I was like, well, I don't know what to say, but you're pregnant because the blood work came out that you're positive, you're pregnant. And I was like, oh no, that can't be. I mean, you're just literally just joking around with me right now. And I'm not in the mood right now. And he's like, yeah. And then he told me, okay, we're going to send you to the hospital and we're going to send you to the image center. That's where they do ultrasounds and all that kind of stuff. And he said, okay, you're going to go right now. In an hour, they're going to get you over there at the hospital. And I go to the hospital. My mom looks at me like, what happens if you're pregnant, this and that, and your dad is going to kick you out and this and that. I was like, I'm not thinking about that right now because I'm like, that can't be. I cannot be pregnant because I was on my period. Like, I couldn't stop saying I was on my period. It's like, you're crazy. The doctor's crazy. He probably don't know. He probably confused me with another test with somebody else's. I never even imagined I was be pregnant. That's something that was not even in my head to think about, guys. Like, not even. And I go into the ultrasound room and they call me there. And we got there. It were early, guys. And we stayed there. We sat there. We're just talking, me and my mom. My mom was there by my side. And we go in and they sat me there and they did an ultrasound, the one they go under, like in there, and they check. And they're like, okay, so I can't do this because it's not letting me. I'm like, okay. I was like, okay, well, I think it's called the vaginal ultrasound. I think the one that they go in and they're like, okay, something's not letting me go in there. So I was like, okay. I was like, okay, that's funny. Okay, and then she gets the other one that's on your belly. And she's checking and there it pops on the ultrasound, guys, a baby. And I was just looking at the ultrasound monitor and I was just looking. I was like, oh my gosh, I am really pregnant. And I was like, and the lady was like, do you want to know what it is? Because I could tell you what it is. And I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, I already found out I'm pregnant today. You're doing an ultrasound right now. I mean, why not tell me what it is? I'm already here. And she's like, well, you're having a boy. And I was like, oh my God. I couldn't believe it, guys. My face was in shock. I could not believe. My mom's face was like, she couldn't even close her mouth because that's how shocked she was, guys. I couldn't believe it either, guys. I was like, oh my God, what I'm going to do? My dad's going to kill me, you know, and if I get home, he's going to kick me out of the house. He's going to say, he's going to have to support you. He's going to have to take care of you. But that's crazy because he didn't work and I didn't work. We were in school. So that was not going to be a good idea. So all this started when we go back home, guys, from the hospital. We go back home and I look at my dad. I'm like, I don't even know what to start and how to start and tell him, you know, that I was pregnant. And I told my mom, I was like, I'm not going to tell him. Like, I am so scared of my dad. Like, my dad, it was like, back then, I was so scared of him back then, guys. It was just the way he was, his like, the way his face reactions were, is just like, he would scare me. And that's when we got home and I just stayed in my room. I just sat there and I was like, what am I gonna do? I mean, I'm 18 years old, I'm pregnant. Guys, I was 14 weeks pregnant. 4 months pregnant, and I did not know I was pregnant. 4 months pregnant, guys, and having periods all through those 4 months. And I was shocked, guys. I was like shocked. I couldn't even believe it that this was going on. And I call the father and I tell him, you know what, I went to the doctor and then I've been feeling sick and my mom wanted to check and see if my iron wasn't low or anything like that, or if I was getting like an infection or something. And I told him, well, I told him that I was pregnant, guys, and that I was having a boy. And he was surprised, guys. He looked very shocked, like, are you kidding me? He looked at me for a good while like that. He couldn't even like he couldn't understand why this happened. We did not know why. And it got to a point where we were both crying. We're like, what are we gonna do? We don't work, we don't do nothing. And he had to drop out of school and start working with his brothers as a construction worker. And even though I was still like, I was already close to being 20 weeks, guys. I was already at 5 months close already. So they already told me it was a boy. They told me everything was good. They just told me that I needed to go check with the doctor because my bleeding was not normal. And that's what scared me a little bit. You're finding out that you're pregnant at this age. You're pregnant with 14 weeks. You're having a boy. And they don't know why you're bleeding. You shouldn't be bleeding when you're pregnant. And I was like, that's unbelievable, because I've been on my period all these 4 months and you're telling me it's not normal. Of course, how would I even know that I was pregnant if I was having a normal period like every month? And that's when I went to go see a doctor that next day, and they did an ultrasound again, guys. And y'all probably gonna see those videos at the end. Y'all, I'm gonna add the pictures at the end, guys. And that's when they told me that, yeah, I was pregnant, and my blood count, I think that's what it was going higher. So I was told the doctor, okay, so why am I bleeding? You know, because I was still bleeding when I went to go see him. I was like, I'm having a normal period. And they checked, and they had to send me to a specialist with the 3D, 4D ultrasounds. And they told me, okay, well, that's not normal. And they said that they were going to check and see why was I bleeding. So they did, and they said something about my placenta. My placenta was, I think it said, I remember, I'm not very sure, guys. The only thing I remember about the doctors was that he said that I had a cut on my placenta, and it was like a nice good cut, guys. It was like cut. And he told me, that's why you're bleeding, because every time the baby's pressing on there, you're bleeding. But I'm like, that's very, very rare, you know, because I couldn't believe it, because like, okay, but it happens every period that I have my period. Like, if I had my period on the 15th, it was every 15, guys, every month. But after that happened, that I see my doctor, they told me to stay in bed rest. They told me to not jump, not do exercise, none of that kind of stuff, you know, just to make sure everything was good. And they said that they were going to see me the following week until my period was over. And my last period was gonna be on that Saturday of that week. So I was like, okay, so my period's gonna be gone by then. So I had my appointment by Tuesday. So by Tuesday, I have my appointment and I go. And this time I go with my mom and the father. And he's like, okay, what's going on? Why is she bleeding? This and that. And that's when they said that, guys, that my placenta was had a little cut or something, that it was just something that happens during pregnancy. I don't know if some people, mommies out there, been through it. It's the first time this happens to me. It was my first pregnancy. So I didn't know nothing. I didn't know what to go through. I didn't know the symptoms or anything like that. Literally, guys, I didn't have any symptoms for a pregnancy. The only thing I was tired. That's it. I didn't have no vomiting. I didn't have nothing, guys. Nothing whatsoever for me to at least say, oh my God, I think I'm pregnant. Nothing, guys. I didn't have any cravings, any vomiting, any feeling sick to my stomach. Nothing, guys. I felt good. Like, that was like the easiest pregnancy, I think, for me. And then I go and I tell my mom's like, okay, well, I need to be in bed rest, and I need a paper for the school, and I need to go tell them that I can't be doing PE, I can't be jumping. And a lot of things changed in my school. I had to go back to school. I had to tell them that I was pregnant. And it was something very surprising. People were telling me, like, you know, if something was wrong with me. And they didn't know. I didn't say much. Very rare. I never talked. But they did notice, you know, the closest friends that I did tell them what's going on. And the school would, like, the principal, what they did was they would make me leave out of class 15 minutes early for me to get to my next class, so I wouldn't be in the crowd when, you know how the high schools are, that it gets so crowded and pushing and shoving. So they didn't want that for me. So what they did was I had to leave 15 minutes early to go to my next class and to be there. And so it could give me at least time for me to go to the bathroom if I needed to and all that. And also I had permission from the principal. I had a paper that every time I go to my classes, I had to show it to the teacher. Like, if I needed to go to the restroom, I had that pass for me to go to the bathroom without asking, just to show them that I had the permission from the principal for me to go to the restroom. Because when you're pregnant, of course, you got to go potty all the time, you know, guys. You got to go to the restroom every 10 minutes or every 15 minutes or every 20 minutes, guys. And I was already on that point already, guys. I was already going to pee. It was horrible, guys. I think every time I leave class, I would go to the restroom. Every time I'd be in the classroom, I had to go back to the restroom. It was just crazy, guys, because I missed a lot of my work because going out like that out of the classroom. But yeah, guys, after that, the weeks went by. I felt good. My belly started showing. I had to buy my pants. I had to start buying stretchy pants. I didn't know what maternity pants were at that time, guys. So I had to buy stretchy pants. My pants that I wear, I had to put like a little rubber band for it to close and put longer shirts. But yeah, guys, pretty much that's what my clothing was for that pregnancy. And the weeks went by. My belly was growing, guys. It was just growing. Each week it was growing. And I was happy, and the father was happy, because literally men get happy because they're gonna have their first boy. Of course, you know, they're gonna get happy. But I felt like it was just I feel like it was so much drama between him and me, with my family and with his family, just like me and him. It was just so much problems, guys. It was just like we're not getting along. It was just like it was just bad. We did not get along. His family, my family did not get along. They didn't like him because he got me pregnant. But like I always say, like, if you're pregnant because you wanted to, not just because you didn't want to. You know, he didn't make you do it, because you did it because you wanted to. And I did, you know. When you decide on something, you just decide, and I mean, you can't go back. And that's what happened to me, you know. And the months went by, guys. Like the fourth month went by. I was already at close to 4.5 months. I was already at 5 months, guys. My belly was showing, guys. It was something very different, very something like you're like seeing your belly grow, because you barely find out at 4 months, guys, that you're pregnant. And you're like, okay, I don't have a belly, you're not showing or anything. So I go, okay, so I go to 5 months, guys. I was already at a small belly. It was a little round belly. I felt very different. Then you see your baby like kicking and all that. It was just something incredible, guys. It was just something, for me, it was like something new. Like it was just incredible, like seeing your baby kick, you know, for the first time. And you know, and those kind of things, like you're like, oh my God, like how can this happen, you know? You're growing a baby inside, and you're gonna have him in a couple of months, you know. But then it got to a point where me and the father got into it. It was close. I was already close to going to 6 months, guys. I think I needed a week for 6 months. We're having arguments after back. It was just incredible. Like, it was just, he was never happy about anything, guys. And it got to a point where we're not working out, and it was just horrible. It was just horrible, guys. It was just the worst. I felt from there, my pregnancy was just so stressful, where I couldn't do it no more, guys. I could not do it no more. I couldn't. I got so emotional. I would cry. I'm like, what is he doing? Why is he doing this to me? And this is our first pregnancy. You know, he's having a boy. Why is he doing this? And check this out, guys. None of his family knew that I was pregnant. None of his family knew that I was pregnant. Excuse me, guys. Like, they didn't know I was pregnant, guys, at all. At all. And that's what, like, kept me, like, oh my God, like, am I doing good being with this guy? Like, I couldn't believe it, guys. I was so, I was very upset and stuff. I couldn't believe that I would go through this, you know. A lot of it was violent, close to domestic violence in our relationship, where he would grab me, pull me, push me. It was one of the worst. I mean, the worst. Nobody. I would never want that in anybody. It's the worst pain you could have. Like, why would a guy even treat you that way? Being pregnant. Why? You know, and I come around for 6 months. I'm already at 6 months, guy, pregnant, guys. And I'm already a little bit big, not much, but I'm there with the little belly. And we got into an argument after that. I remember it was on a Saturday, guys. I will never forget that. Saturday was one of the arguments that we probably had. One of the worst ones, probably. We got into an argument really, really bad. Where I think we got to a point where he was with his friends and he didn't want to be with me. That he was already done with me. He didn't want to be with me and this and all that. And that's when I told him, okay, that's fine. So don't look for me or anything. Just, if you're done with me, you want to be with your friends, that's up to you. I'm not going to be worrying about you. And later that night, guys, I go to sleep crying. I go to sleep crying and upset because of what we were, what went through in that little small time that I had. It was just a little bit, guys. And I remember I took a shower after that. I changed and watching TV for a little bit with my sister. And I remember like it was yesterday, guys. And I was like, oh man, like I started cussing and I started like saying this and that. I'm like, man, out of nowhere, I go to sleep, guys, and I hear a pop. You know how you hear like a balloon when it pops, like the top part, like it burst? Okay, that's what I heard. And I was laying on my bed and I hear this. Like my room was quiet, guys. My sister was already asleep. And I hear this burst, like something like burst inside of me. But I didn't know what it was, guys. I go check and I'm like, oh my God, I gotta go to the bathroom. Like a few seconds later, I'm like, God, I gotta go to the bathroom. By the time I get up from my bed, I started leaking water. I don't know what, something was leaking out of me. And I go to my mom's room, like literally like everything was leaking, guys. It was leaking. I went to my mom's room. My mom's room was like on the other side of the house. My room was at the other corner of the room. So it was like I had to walk a good while that way because my room was on that side. So I go in the kitchen, and I start leaking and leaking and leaking, guys. And my mom's like, Mom, I'm leaking. I don't know why I'm leaking. Some fluid is coming out of me. And my mom's like, oh my God, your water ruptured. I'm like, what does that mean? You're like, oh shoot. I'm like, what does that mean? You're telling me this happened, I didn't know nothing, guys. I didn't know nothing about water rupture, you're dilating. None of that, guys. I didn't know none of that. I didn't know what that was, what was called, what did it mean? Nothing, guys. I didn't know nothing. And my mom's like, your water ruptured. Let's go to the hospital. You have to go. So I remember that day. It was my mom, my sister, I think. I'm not really sure if my sister went with us. I'm not sure. And I had to be laying down. I remember my mom passing all the red lights. She passed all the red lights for me to get to the hospital as soon as possible. And we got to the hospital and I was still leaking, guys. Leaking. And they had called, how they call, oh, for, you have to go to some room. You have to go, when the women are in labor and all that kind of stuff. So they call me and they put me in the wheelchair and they take me up. And the doctor and the nurses were like, yes, ma'am, your water ruptured. You're going to have your baby. And I'm like, I cannot have my baby. I'm like, I'm still 6 months pregnant. I thought you have to be 9 months for the baby to, to be born. It's like, ma'am, your water ruptured. You have to have your baby today. And I'm like, no, that can't be. And they checked if I still had, still water inside. If everything came out, guys. Everything from my house, from the time I walked to my mom's room, the time that I went outside, got on the car, and got on the road. It started leaking through the, and then from there, when I got off the hospital and got inside the hospital, I was leaking, guys. So that was a lot of liquid, like all that water that ruptured, you know. It was a lot, guys, and everything came out. So then they started putting the medication that it makes your labor go quickly. I think it's, I don't know what it's called, guys. Don't hate on me if I don't know, but I think it's, I don't know. It starts with the P, guys. But I don't know what it is, guys. Something with the P. And I was in labor, guys. I was already 3 centimeters dilated, and my sister called the father of my kid, and he was drunk. He was his friends, and he was drunk. And that's how he got to the hospital. Drunk. When he got close to me, he smelled bad as beer. It was just nasty. Drunk. It was just the worst. Like, when you're in this pain, in this situation that you never want to be in, and he comes to the hospital drunk. That was something that I never thought he was gonna do. And it was just horrible, guys. It was just one of the worst pains ever. Already going into labor, my mom and him getting into it, you know, and it was just the worst. And, you know, it's just like, you know, I'd told them so many times, please shut up and let me just get out of this situation right now, because I just can't think right now. I'm going through so many emotions, you know. You find out you're pregnant, you find out you're having a boy, you're pregnant with 14 weeks. You did not know you were pregnant through these 3 weeks that you found out that you were pregnant, and now you're in labor at 6 months pregnant. You got nothing much to think about. Everything is like, everything comes like that. Like, you don't even imagine that you're going through this. You're like thinking, oh my God, this is a dream. This is a dream that you never want it to be, you know, that you're just hoping it's just a bad dream, but it's not. It's real life. You're going through it right now. And the doctor comes in and he tells me, you're going into labor, and we're probably gonna, you know, if you don't dilate, you're gonna have to go get a C-section. And pretty much my body took the medication really good, and my water, when it ruptured, it started like dilating quick. So I dilated at 10 centimeters, guys, in less than 2 hours. And that's when the doctor comes in and he tells me, you're having your baby. But look at this, guys. I don't know what to blame. I don't know if it was my I don't know. Until now that I'm talking about it, I just want to know what happened. Because when I had my baby, the only thing I could remember was I had him. My mom was the one right there, like, watching everything, where everything was, you know, where the baby was coming out. And my mom was just, you know, she told me a lot of things, you know, and she would say, okay, why is the baby coming with his feet first? You know, and I was like, is that normal? You know, I didn't know if it was normal, guys. For me, it was my first pregnancy. I was so young. I did not know what was normal, what was not. And I have my baby. He pulls the baby from his feet. You know, his feet came first. His feet came first, and then his head. And the doctor was like, he's still breathing. And I was like, oh my God, can this be a miracle? Because I hear that so many babies survive, you know, this kind of drama, you know, this kind of like, you know, this, what can I say? Because he was through all this drama, guys. Like, I feel like he felt everything that went through. I feel all this drama just, I don't know, it made me have my labor early. I feel like, and I blame it on the drama. I blame it on myself, just like I blame him. Sometimes I even blame him more, because I feel like he left me alone. He rather wanted his friends than me. And it was just unbelievable, guys. He was born. They gave him to me on my chest. And sorry, guys. But yeah, they gave him to me, and they're like, he's alive. He's alive, and he's breathing. And do you want to hold him? And I'm, yeah, of course. And I'm holding him. And I touch him for the first time. I kiss him for the first time. At that time, I didn't have a phone, guys. I didn't have anything, a camera. So I didn't take pictures of nothing. This happened so quick, guys. I didn't have a camera or anything for me to take a picture of him. And it was just that moment. Like, everything that was going on, everything was so calm when he was born. Everything was so quiet. I just didn't want to hear anything no more. I didn't want to hear if he was there, he wasn't there. I didn't know if my mom was there. I didn't care who was there. I just wanted to have that moment with my son. And it was one of those best moments that I probably still remember more. And you know, he probably survived. He probably, after birth, he probably died 2 hours after that, guys. And everybody carried him. My mom, my sisters, me, and a couple of friends that came and visit me at the hospital. And him, the father, also did. It was one of the special and unforgettable moments, guys, that I would never forget. I feel like he was that angel that I always wanted to wait, that I was waiting for, guys. Like, he was just so calm. Like, everything that I was going through, everything that went through, that from those few hours back, it was just like, oh my God, like, he's here. And they didn't think he was gonna survive. Doctor said that he had problems breathing at birth, and they helped him, you know, with tubes and stuff like that they put on him. He couldn't open his eyes, guys. He did not open his eyes like babies do when they're born. No, he couldn't. His eyes were, at least, like, they were closed, guys. He didn't have much hair. His ears, he had his little 2 ears already there. His body, guys, he was a long baby. He was just long baby. And his small little toes, guys, it was just so cute. Like, I seen every inch of his body. Like, I did not want to forget that he was my little baby. And I remember that the doctors and the nurses were like, you only have 2 hours for him to survive, and he's gonna pass away. The only thing you do is have that special moment until till he dies. I think that was one of my saddest moments, guys, when he passed away in my arms. And I still think about it, and I always say, why me? Did I do something wrong? Was it the drama that I was going through and that made my water ruptured? You don't know, guys. Like, it's just like we don't know what happened until now. I don't know, and I still think, and I don't know what happened. I just think about him like he was so sweet, you know, and I see Angelique, and I'm like, oh my God, they would have been twins. They look so alike. Like, literally, they look so alike. Angelique was born, and she was just like him, like so cute. That's why there's times I feel like I never thought I would go through this, guys. Never. That was one of the worst pains ever. Those were the worst pains I never thought I would have to go through. And when they told me that they were gonna take him away from me, that he had already passed away, I screamed, guys, like, don't take him, he's mine, though he's mine, he's gonna stay with me, he's alive. And I would say, I know you're alive, please, you know. And when they take them, you know that it's already time for them. But the thing is that the only thing I got, guys, I probably it's this little picture right here I have right here. And that's the only picture. This is the only picture I have, guys, of him. He was so tiny, guys. And never thought that, you know, I would go through this, you know. I think that was one of my worst pains, guys. I was always in pain. Like, never thought that I would go through this, guys. A loss of a son. You're just learning. You had a baby inside of you, and he dies. And the only thing you blame is the father of your child because of him, all this drama, all his problems, all because of him, always about him and this and that. I always thought that he never did care if I was pregnant or not, guys. Until now, I feel like he never did care. And until now that I know that I have Angelique, and that's Angelique, you know, that, you know, that's his daughter. I don't even think he's never been in her life. Put it that way, guys. So, you know, I feel like I don't, like, you know, it's just like, I thank God, like, every single day. I always thank him for giving me my baby, at least to be a first-time mommy for at least those few months that I felt him kick inside of me. Those few hours that I had with him, to kiss him, to hug him, and to just stare at him, you know, and just have those as memories that I still remember, guys, even though it's been 13 years that he passed away. But I feel like I still remember about him all the time, guys. All the time. I remember him every single day, April the 2nd, it's gonna be 13 years, guys, that he passed away. And it's been hard, and it's been difficult for me as Angelique, because I didn't tell her. I didn't, because I got pregnant that same year, guys. Think it was like in July when I got pregnant, if I'm not mistaken, guys. I'm not really sure. I don't know what month it was, but it was that same year, guys. And she was born in March, 2007. So yeah, and that's from there. That's when I had that. That's when I had the opportunity, that I wanted another baby, and then this time I was gonna be safe with my parents, with my mom that took care of me all this time, and that she was going to take care of me this time with this baby, and I was gonna be in bed rest for a whole entire my pregnancy, guys. But yeah, I'll do another video about Angelique's, but yeah, guys, that's my video, guys. That's my real life of what happened years back at 18. And I hope, and I really hope that that mommies out there that been through this, and they still probably go through it right now, or teenagers that been through it, or they're going through it right now. I just pray for y'all. I pray every day, because I would never want anybody going through that, guys. It's the worst pain ever. That pain stays with you forever. I had to go to counseling. I had to go to therapy, where there was a time where I wanted to suicide, take pills and not live no more, guys. It was that kind of time where, for me, that was not important. My life was not important no more. Like it was just the worst, because I had lost my son. That was one of the pains that hurt me more. I mean, y'all probably gonna think, oh, okay, so it didn't hurt you that you broke up with the father of your son. No, guys. I feel like that I didn't care about it. I care more about my son. That was the only thing I thought about. That's all the time. I didn't care about him. I didn't care if he was feeling the same thing I did. I didn't care. The only thing I cared about was myself. That's all. And it got just where I didn't want to, I really didn't want to, talk to him about it. I feel like I always blamed him for what happened. All these years, I still blame him. But I feel like, I don't know. Till now that it's been 13 years, guys, I don't know what happened. I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know if it's just, it happens, I do not know, guys. I really do not know what caused it. I don't know if him being born with his feet first and his head last, something caused it. I don't know, guys. I do not know. Until now, I don't know. At that time, my mom wanted to get a lawyer and see what to ask, a lawyer, why was my, grandson born with his feet first and not with his head like it should be. But I mean, I feel like I didn't want nothing. At that time, I just didn't want to think about anything else no more, guys. I feel like more I thought about it, it was more pain for me. It was hurting me more. And it's just like, I never went to school, guys. I never went back to school. I stayed home. And when, I think they call it a program where There was teachers, they come to your house and they give you classes, whatever class you have at school. They come to your home and they give you the classes. They practice with you. They help you. They review it with you for you to at least catch up on your work. They didn't want to do that. I didn't care about that. I just didn't care no more, guys. Like, literally, I just didn't not care no more. That was just out of me already. For me, it was just crying and crying all the time. For me, it was just crying all the time. For me, it was just the pain that just always kept me in my room. I didn't want to see no one. I didn't want to talk to no one. But yeah, guys, that is my video, guys. The saddest video when I lost my son at birth. And people say, oh, at least you had that, people tell me, oh, at least you're with him for 2 hours. And like, some people's babies pass away right at birth. You don't have the opportunity. But I didn't see his eyes open, guys. I didn't see him like move a lot like he used to, like when it's inside my stomach. He was very like still. I mean, they said his chest was beating, like his heart was beating. So I knew he was alive. The few hours that I had him, it was just wonderful to keep him, with me on my chest. But yeah, guys, it was one of the worst pains ever in my life, guys. And until now that I'm older, and I still remember him like it was yesterday, guys. Every April of the month, I always get very emotional, and my husband notices, and he's like, I know you're emotional because of your son, and I always say, yeah, I am. I get very emotional because I start thinking about things, but I know he's with God right now, and he's in a good place right now, and I know he always watches over us as his sisters, as his brother, that and me. But yeah, guys, that is my video, guys, and I am so sorry if I started crying. And I still get emotional, even though it happened so many years back. I feel like I still remember like it was yesterday, guys. It's just like I could see everything clearly. I could picture everything clearly, just like that same day. And it's just overwhelming, guys. It just does. And if y'all like this video, guys, I hope y'all like this video. And if any mommies out there, women out there, teenagers that been through this, please comment down below. And how have y'all been through these years? How did y'all overcome this pain? Because you cannot forget. Even though people say you're gonna forget, you just don't. You cannot forget, guys. It stays there forever and ever. Please comment down below, guys, if y'all been through it, and share your share the experience that y'all have, because like I just I did this video, guys. I never thought I was gonna do this video. And one of the videos that probably nobody thought, or my friends or family would think that I would do and share, because they usually try not to talk about it, because it still hurts me a lot, but I know people are gonna ask me, how did you tell Angelique that she had a brother and he passed away? Well, I did tell her, guys, but at appropriate age for her. I didn't tell her until she was at least 8 years old. That's when I told her the truth. At that, I couldn't tell her at a smaller age, because I feel like she was more responsible and everything at that, but I feel like she didn't need that right now for me to tell her what was going on and what happened years back. And I did tell her that she had a brother, and she does remember him, guys. She does. And she always talks about it every time we go to the where we bury him and all that. um we still we still go there, like, and she's always praying there, she's always standing there. She she has, she does, speak to him and all that. um she's always praying for him all the time. And like I always tell her, he's always going to be watching you, he's always going to take care of you, and he's going to be there for you, just like he was there for me all these years. He's going to be there for you too, because you're his little sister. And he's going to love you. He loves you. He probably loves you now that he knows that you're here, and he loves you so much, so much. And so please, mommies out there, if y'all been through this, and y'all want to comment down below and let me know that I'm like not the only one that been through this. Please, share, and or if you want to share in my Instagram, guys, your stories, and if y'all want me to read them, I will do that. And if y'all just want me to read them in private, DM me. I just want to know that how did y'all do? How did y'all go? I mean, I know it's probably years that people went through this, months or days or weeks, and it's still there, guys. The pain is still there, and it never goes. It never goes, guys. So I hope y'all like this video, guys. And at the end of the video, guys, y'all are gonna see the picture where the first picture is gonna be where I found out that I was pregnant and I was wearing that outfit. And I remember my mom, I think before I went to Mexico, and I did not know. I was like days. I think I was like, not gonna lie, I think it was like a week before finding out that I was pregnant, guys. And on the other two pictures, guys, y'all gonna see the ultrasounds that I had got at the hospital, and show the baby that it was a boy, guys. So I hope y'all like this video, guys, and please give it a thumbs up if y'all liked it, and subscribe to our channel, guys. And please comment down below things that y'all want me to do on my next video, guys. I've been trying to plan other videos right now, but it's been so crazy right now, and I haven't done so much, but I will, guys. So please, if you're not following me on Instagram, guys, follow me on Instagram. At the end of the video, y'all will see my Instagram. And at the end of this video, you're also gonna see my the latest video that we posted. So thank you very much, guys, for listening to me. I know it's been so long, guys. It's close to an hour, guys, but thank you so much for listening. And I know there's gonna be so many people watching this video, and I hope y'all like it, guys, because it's one of the special ones that I never thought I wanted to do. But thank y'all so much from the bottom of my heart. Bye.